Alright, here we are, we're midsummer on Farming Farm, and we've got one bunch of melons harvested. I got a new microphone and a new mouse. I can now use the scroll wheel on my mouse, so that's nice. We have some extra strawberry seeds that we didn't use in the greenhouse. I think we want to keep using the wood in the charcoal kilns. So this is going to take some getting used to. I got a new microphone and now I'm not wearing a headset while I'm playing. It's a strange thing. But because I got a cheap microphone, as I would do, it didn't come with a stand tall enough to get close to my mouth. So I had to grab a piece of firewood, take it out to the workshop, put it on the lathe, and make it into a microphone stand. So now I have a handmade red oak microphone stand for my new microphone. And I got a new mouse so that my scroll wheel works now, and I no longer have to click on every tool that I want to use. Alright. So, we need to water. We need to water these that we didn't get sprinklers on yet. And then I believe we need to just start farming the mines again for sprinkler materials. Whoops. Because we have the greenhouse full of strawberry seeds that also does not have sprinklers that we need to get sprinklers on. So that's our next goal, is to get sprinklers in the greenhouse. After we get the sprinklers in the greenhouse, then we can work on getting all these sprinklers back out in the field. We basically need to set up a sprinkler factory. Whoops. New mouse. I'm blaming it on the new mouse. Not because I'm bad. I definitely never watered the wrong place before I got a new mouse. That's a lie. I always watered the wrong place. This is frequent and constant. I see a radish, which I'm pretty sure is ready. Yep. So we'll see if we have any odds and ends seeds. I see. Oh, we got a star fruit. Alright. I think maybe we just stick the star fruit in the seed maker and pray for 2. Pray for 3. Alright, let's throw some more wood in the charcoal kilns. I would rather not use up all my quartz. If I happen to have a chance to get a crystallarium, oh well, I'll do it. I'll do it. If I happen to have a chance to get a crystallarium, I do want to start replicating quartz because I'm going to need a lot of it. So much quartz. Alright, hey buddy. It's nice to see you over here now that we moved your dog bowl closer to the house. Alright, we're just selling everything. We have plenty of sources of energy. Alright, we have plenty of sources of energy. I guess we're pretty much out of iron ore. So I'll throw some gold in the furnaces while I'm gone in the mines. Excuse me, bud. And when I get to the mines, let's see, I know I can leave behind a few things, but I would like to take, that should do. That should do. Okay. Did I have anything else I was doing today? 3 star fruit seeds is fantastic. 13 days. It's cutting it very close. It's cutting it very close. Did I have any other seeds? I have some mixed seeds and mixed flower seeds. I'm going to save those star fruits for later. And I'm going to fill in these gaps with some mixed seeds. Okay, I think that was it. So we can go ahead and head to the mines now. And see, the predicament here is I am so tired of watering everything. I would like to have this with sprinklers before I even start watering it. So how many sprinklers do I need? 4, 8, 12, 16. I need 16 sprinklers. So the ore is actually not the hard part. I can power farm the ore. The hard part is the quartz. Making sure I get enough quartz. New mouse. New mouse, hard to control. Still figuring out the DPI settings on the new mouse. Okay. I don't know why I brought my axe, but I did. Alright, so we know we need both. We need both iron and gold. It's probably about time for me to upgrade my tools. Oh right, new mouse, I have a working scroll wheel now. I need to keep reminding myself of that. I was so used to just having to click on everything because my scroll wheel was broken. So now I have to reacclimate to having a working scroll wheel. See, it's just a habit now. But I'll get over it. Back to the top. Up and down. Just power farming ore. It's going pretty quickly. We have over 20 already. These crystals have a very low chance of giving a refined quartz. I'm not sure if it's worth the time to even break them. But I have in the past gotten refined quartz from the crystals. Just let me know if the volume balances need shifted. I'm dealing with a new microphone. And I did my own tests and it seemed like it was working fine. But I'm not on the other end of a Twitch stream. That was just a recording on my own computer using the same streaming software. Back up to the top. Alright, we've got almost 40. I think when we get to 50, we probably go ahead and swap to gold. Although we did have more, there's finally some quartz. We did have more gold ore than iron ore at the moment. So I'm not sure exactly how much I need of both. I just know that I need basically an infinite amount of both. Because I'm going to be spreading these crop fields the whole way across the standard farm. No buildings, no pathways, no walkways, just crops. So I'm going to need a lot more quality sprinklers. And I'm going to need to start thinking about going to the Skull Cavern as soon as possible. I think that's going to happen over the winter. I might get there before the winter, but I can't guarantee it. If I do get there before the winter, I think that'll be a good job. I think I'll have the money for it to open the bus line pretty soon. Because as soon as we harvest this next round of melons, I think it should be just about enough to complete the entire Joja Mart. Look at this, 3 quarts. Super lucky. So, if I remember correctly, whoops, we did get close there. If I remember correctly, I planted 300 melons. So when we sell those, that is going to be a lot of money. I'm going to make a quick estimate that it's going to be 120,000 gold when we sell this next batch of melons, which I think is going to be just about enough to complete all of the rest of the Joja bundles. This is the first time I've done Joja, so I don't really know for sure what all the things cost. I've never done Joja before. I don't like how it feels. It's a whole different game. And it definitely is a different game. You don't have that feeling of accomplishment. You don't have that feeling of community. So I can't really say that I like it. But for this particular challenge that I've given myself to fill the standard farm with crops, I wasn't really in the mind to go through all of the different challenges of completing the community center and going for perfection. I have no interest in going for perfection on this save file. That's not what this save file is about. This run-through is entirely about filling the standard farm with crops to eventually have what I think is going to be somewhere around 2,000 crops. And when I get to that point, I will eventually have 2,000 starfruit. And I would like to see what that does. That'll be a heck of a payday. I wonder how much 2,000 starfruit will sell for. So we're going to find that out. Possibly just in year 2. It's possible. It's possible we could fill the entire farm with starfruit in year 2. I'm not saying it's likely, but it's definitely possible. But we do need to be focused on getting to the Skull Cavern, if not sooner than during this winter, so that we can switch over to making iridium sprinklers. Because we're going to need those guys if we expect to water the entire property every single day. Okay, there's a purple rock over there. Do you see that? Oh my goodness. I did not realize it was so late. We basically just need to run home at this point and hope that we get to bed. Oh, we got another dwarf scroll. That's good news. The sooner we can talk to the dwarf, the better, because that way we can just buy bombs instead of crafting them. We want all of our ore to make sprinklers. We don't want to be using up hundreds of ore on bombs. We want to be using it on sprinklers. Alright, so let's have a look. What did we pick up? We got 139 iron ore. Pretty good. Pretty good. We only got 5 quartz. Not pretty good. That was a bad quartz run. I'll have to look up to see if there's a better way to farm quartz. I don't think there is, but we'll look it up. Alright, coffee bean goes in there. Forage goes in here. We've got some aged legend roe to put in the bin. And we're going to grab... We have enough time. We're going to put all that quartz in the furnaces. And some of the iron as well. And then we're going to get our Heine into bed. Might as well grab the watering can. I have time. I'm gonna go fill it in the legend pond. Okay, to bed we go. 140 iron is not a bad haul for a regular mines run. See that legend row? 5,000 gold for one legend row. Catching the legend in year 1 was a big deal. it's going to be a good bit of cash flow. Okay. What do we have here? There's some more legend row. I see it over there. Okay. So today we probably get our chores done. And then we go farm gold today. And hope to get more refined quartz. Now remember, we want to build up to 16. We want to put sprinklers in the whole greenhouse all at the same time. So we need 16 refined quartz, 16 iron bars, and 16 gold bars to make 16 quality sprinklers. Alright, it was just one, but that's 5,000 gold. Alright, is there anything else that we've got? We've got... Nope, don't eat that. I guess we'll carry the sword around. Got some poppies, got some forage, got some sunflowers. We'll see how many days the sunflowers are. Okay, that was it. How many days are the sunflowers? 8 days? Let's just put them right back down again. And then we'll make some forage seeds. Where's my watering can? We'll make some forage seeds to fill in the rest of those gaps. No, that's a miss. I found this swashbuckler hat in the mines the other day. Yesterday, I think. And it's the perfect farming hat, I think. Look at that brim. What a wonderful farming hat. Keeping the sun off. Keeping me stylish. Keeping me comfortable while I water hundreds and hundreds of crops. Whoops. Thankfully, we are now level 10 farming. So we're not having to eat a bunch of food every day just to get the watering done. Alright, let's sell off all of the produce. We keep all of the forage. And then, whoops. And then we pick up forage here. And we make our wild seeds. So these wild seeds are going to fill in every gap. Okay, was that it? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that too. I need to get used to using the scroll wheel again, now that I have a new mouse. Are there any other gaps that I missed? It does not look like it. It looks like we've filled everything in. Alright. So we can put those back. We'll put those in the forage bin. Actually, we'll put those in the farming bin with the rest of the seeds. And we'll try to remember that they're there for when we have more gaps. Okay, we've got all those iron bars. All those iron bars and no quartz to go with them. We'll do the gold overnight tonight. And then we'll have both the gold and the iron to do our greenhouse worth of quality sprinklers. What we'll need is 9 quartz. We still need 9 quartz. Okay. I don't need that. I'm not really going to use the hoe, but I should. I should be using the hoe in the mines while I'm there, because one of the dwarf scrolls, that is the best way to get, is to hoe up dirt in the mines. But currently, I'm just farming for gold. Gold ore, not the currency. If I was farming the currency, I would probably just be fishing for a guaranteed 5,000 to 10,000 per day. Salute you, Linus. Every time I go to talk to Linus, I completely by accident block with my sword, so it's almost become a tradition for me to salute Linus when I see him. Oh wow. Lots of enemies and lots of ores. Okay, an interesting start. Interesting start to the mines. Oh wow. Okay, we do break open the gemstones, even though we don't really need them. First of all, we can sell them. And second of all, the gemstone nodes are very good experience. And we are looking to get up to 10 mining. We're really trying to get 10 everything, obviously. We want to get that mastery. I want to get that farming mastery. Because I really need that iridium scythe. If I'm going to be harvesting 2,000 crops at the same time, I'm going to want an iridium scythe to do the harvesting. I am definitely not going to want to... Let's have one of these purple mushrooms. Definitely not going to want to harvest those things one at a time. Alright, there's a quartz. Tell you what, let me rearrange my inventory a little bit, just so that we can always see how much of our target stuff we have, which is quartz and gold. And coal as well, but I have yet to find any of that. I'm actually a little kind of reserved to the point of we're going to need to cut down trees and use the charcoal kilns to keep up with coal demand, because I'm just not getting it fast enough in the mines. This game would be so much easier if I was better at it. Isn't that an interesting phrase to say? Okay, it's a tiny bit more damage, but it's -3 speed. I think we're keeping the Yeti tooth. I think we keep the Yeti tooth. So in the bin it goes. It was a pretty neat sword. I think maybe it needed a better enchantment for me to want to switch. Let's see if there's anything over here. There's a ruby. I don't really care. I'm just gonna restart back to the top. Still only have 2 quartz. Not the greatest of runs. Alright, restart from the top. That works on a couple levels. Oh man, I'm just throwing them down, huh? Alright. I'm gonna need some better luck in here. Alright, slime, leave me alone. I just want my ore and to get out of here. That's it. For me, combat is always the last thing that I level up. Oh, I do need that. Alright. Keeping it moving. I think maybe today was a bad luck day. I just haven't been seeing as many resources on these floors. Alright, we've got 6. What did we say we needed? 9, I think. So maybe we get it? Maybe we don't. Maybe we need one more day. I'm actually going to look at the iridium. No refined quartz, just battery packs. So we just need to step up our lightning rod game and get to Ginger Island so that we can get the island ingredients quest. First we need to, I think the special order board goes up in the fall no matter how many other special orders I've completed. I have not been doing a lot of special orders. I've been just kind of minding my own business. I've been a very private farmer. We see a quartz. We see a quartz. We go get a quartz. Alright, slime, get out of the way. I'm not even going to finish killing it. Just going to get it out of the way so I can get back to the ladder and start again from the top. That's it for that floor. Here we go. It's too bad copper isn't what I'm looking for. But I'm going to take it because it's here. There we go. 9. That is huge. See, that's my style of fighting things. I basically just let them run over me while I hit them. It's just mutually assured destruction. Alright, buddy, I'm coming after you first. Ooh, a gold bar. How about that? That is a very good drop. Alright, I think we've gotten what we really wanted here. So I think we actually go home right now and process some quartz before bed so that we can throw the gold in overnight. Oh, you know what? I forgot that I had them fix the mine carts. With the extra money from the first melon harvest. That is a big deal. There's another legend row. Okay, and we're just going to sell the ruby and the emerald and the aquamarines. We don't need those. Okay. And we got 2 coal. See what I mean about the coal? Oof. The coal is definitely limiting us. Okay. But it's enough to at least get this done. We're gonna need to pop some wood in the charcoal kilns. We only have enough for 15 more that way. Alright, now let's empty our pockets. Ended up with 94 gold ore. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, we're building kind of a stash of mixed seeds and mixed flower seeds. Oops, wrong chest. Building kind of a stash of seeds to fill in gaps. We're going to be expanding the fields for fall for the pumpkins. We're going to need so many sprinklers. So it pretty much comes down to the quartz, if we're getting lucky in the mines with the quartz or not. What do we want to make next? We'll be making... Oh, we just don't have the coal. Well, we will. There's coal coming out of these right now. Okay. What did we... No, the quartz is still in there, so we're waiting for the quartz to finish. We're going to keep feeding these charcoal kilns. Actually, we're holding the last of the wood right now to make coal with. We're going to keep feeding these charcoal kilns. The quartz should be done soon. And there it is. So that's enough. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make all of the... Wait a second. I messed up. I had 2 more quartz. Well, I can't wait long enough for this gold to come back out of the furnaces. So I'll just have to do the sprinklers tomorrow. Okay. Not happy about that mistake. Not happy about that one. Okay. Let's just grab this other coal. We do have the coal, at least. to get the rest of our 2 quartz made into refined quartz so that we can, tell you what, let's see. We just don't need these. We're going to want to keep the jade, because even if you're not going for a super deep Skull Cavern run, it's still helpful. And we're going to keep the diamonds. We're just going to leave ourselves with a couple of each. Okay. And now we're ready for tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Chillin' Jr. We're ready for tomorrow. Love that legend row. Hey, that was not bad from selling all of our excess gems. It's just a little bit of everything here. Just random stuff. But that's not bad. Alright, well, Wednesday is a rerun, I know. Already know how to cook that. I'm not going to be doing a ton of cooking. Good morning, bud. Love you. Alright, let's get that quartz in the furnaces. And I think we'll just go ahead and avoid doing anything else. Or maybe we'll go ahead and put some gold in there as well. Alright, that worked out evenly to take all of my coal. So maybe today, foraging is only at level 6. So maybe today we go chop down a bunch of trees. Maybe that's our day today. To guarantee we have coal. I'm just now realizing that I stopped fishing at level 9. So one of these days we should spend the day capping that off at level 10. So we start the day with our morning chores. We're going to harvest anything we see that can be harvested. And we're going to water what doesn't have a sprinkler on it. And I thought, in error, that when we got the quality sprinkler recipe, that I was done watering. But our gold income is outpacing our sprinkler factory. And I'm not really willing to slow down the growth of the fields. So watering is what we're doing. I really need to get the museum going so that I can get Krobus's key, because he sells Krobus. Oh, there was 2 sunflower seeds. Krobus sells iridium sprinklers once a week. At 1 iridium sprinkler once a week for 10,000 gold. And that is just such a good deal. Alright, wasn't there... more than 2 gaps that I created? No? Alright. So I guess we're done with that. Let's sell our produce. We don't need it. We want the money. Grab our quartz. Hoorah! And make our sprinklers. Alright. Here we go. Our strawberry greenhouse dreams are going to come to fruition. We have 1 extra. I think it's worth it to go ahead and water these today. Whoops. To just get them going. Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at this. So we're going to get this greenhouse going. And in about a week or two, whoops, in about a week or two, we'll be rolling in the strawberries. We got to refill our watering can. Thankfully, there's a water trough in the greenhouse. So I will say this about the Joja. I'm not proud of it, so don't blast me. But this is definitely the earliest greenhouse I've ever had. Midsummer. We had the greenhouse a few days ago. With the community center, it is very hard to get the greenhouse before winter. You would have to get very lucky with traveling cart. With the rotating stock in the traveling cart. You would have to get so super lucky to be able to get the greenhouse in the middle of summer during year 1. All right. Our strawberries are planted. And what we might do, we'll see how much sap we have. That's not nearly enough. But what we can do is we can make the fertilizer that we can with that. That's 36. Let's go place this last sprinkler. We can make the fertilizer that we have the sap for. And then we can go buy the rest from Joja. Keep in mind we're doing Joja, not Pierre. Even though it's exactly the same price. After paying 5,000 gold for a membership, it is not cheaper. Little salty about that, if you could tell. This place is a scam. All right. Oh, they don't even sell fertilizer at all. Scam. So Pierre's we go, oh, it's Wednesday. Pierre's not going to be open on Wednesday. Well, that's a serious problem. I don't know if we can cut down enough wood to get enough sap. Because the plants haven't grown yet, we should still be able to put the fertilizer down, but if we don't get fertilizer down on them today, we never will. And And of course it's a Wednesday. Yeah, see, we can still do fertilizer today, but today is the last day we can do it. And the reason we're doing quality fertilizer instead of speed grow or anything like that is that we are selling the crops as raw crops. We are not processing them. You know what? I think we can hit that. No, it needs to be gold. Okay. We are not processing the crops. So we need, or we want, quality fertilizer in the greenhouse because the strawberries are there permanently. And they're a regrowing crop. So the speed grow only works on the first growth cycle. It doesn't mean you're going to get strawberries faster after the first growth cycle. We're just so it's not going to get us more gold per day. We just want more high quality strawberries to increase our income. So we're just going to cut down as many trees as we can today to get as much sap as we can to be able to fertilize as many strawberries as we can. Okay. I want to be efficiently chopping trees. We can come back and clean up stones later. I want to focus on chopping down every last one of these trees because ideally I would want, I think it's 108 with quality sprinklers. I think there's 108 planting spaces in the greenhouse with quality sprinklers. So I would want to have 216 sap to make enough fertilizer for the entire greenhouse. Now, we already did, I believe it was 36 fertilizer. So we need 72 more fertilizer. So we need 144 more sap. And it does appear that we might be able to get that today. So that's great news. Because tomorrow I will no longer be able to put fertilizer in the greenhouse. So as long as we can get this fertilizer down today, then our greenhouse will be making us more money than if we hadn't have done this. This would have been much simpler if Pierre wouldn't be closed on Wednesdays. But he is, and there's nothing we can do about that. And for whatever reason, we paid 5,000 gold for a Joja membership, and they don't sell fertilizer. So here we are. Oh, it looks like we have enough sap. I'm just going to cut down this one last tree. That's a lot of progress we made today. That was about a quarter of the entire farm, about half of what was left. Alright. That should be everything we need. Let's make sure we start where we left off. And then fertilize the entire greenhouse. So now we should be getting about 20,000 gold. After the first harvest, we should be getting about 20,000 gold every 4 days from this greenhouse. So even without this humongous melon harvest that's coming up in a week, we would still be able to finish the bundles relatively quickly. Alright, let's put away our spoils here. And then we'll bring this wood over to the charcoal kilns. And I think we'll wait and harvest this coal. And load those kilns up again before we go to bed. And then we need to go back to the mines and look for more quartz. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to Google if there's a better way to farm quartz. Well, I'll use the wiki, of course. Playing this game without the wiki, I think, would be quite challenging. The mines, rarely from a garbage can, and 10% from a stone golem. That would be the dark levels of the mine. For a 10% chance from one monster, I'm not really willing to bother. So it looks like it's to the mines with us. All right. Good night, bud. New day, same watering. New day, same watering. We've got some legend row and exactly enough preserve jars to put them in. That's been working out pretty well with just 3 preserve jars. We've got wheat here. We've got a poppy there. I think that's it. We're just going to water our way over to the pond so we can refill our watering can and finish this up. And then we're just going to take a peek in the greenhouse and admire our handiwork in there. We're on summer 18. And we've got a greenhouse full of strawberries. That's another goal that we've accomplished here. What else are we working on for the summer? Obviously, a recurring goal is making sprinklers. But what else are we working on during this summer? I think when this next melon harvest comes in, we can go ahead and complete, love you bud, we can go ahead and complete the Joja bundles. I think that should be plenty of money to go ahead and finish all of the Joja bundles. Alright, we can just throw some iron in there. And we're going to, I guess, go back to the mines. It looks like we're ready to farm some iron ore and hope for the quartz. Hope for the quartz to show up on its own. I don't need to really drop my tools behind anymore. I am going to need some more energy food though. It's only 9 a.m. and we're actually done. I think that should do. I think what I'll do is I'll bring a stack of flounder as well. And then we know we're good to go. Alright, we just did that, chopping down trees. That leaves us, that's enough for 40 more coal. So the question is, should we go put our axe in? I think we could. I think we could. We'll hit the mines hard for the next couple days, and then we can go put our pickaxe in, and we can break open that meteorite. Alright, so let's go. Oh, we want to fill in. There was a couple holes I left before we leave. Let me grab my summer seeds. Where were those holes? There's one, there's one. I think that's it. Oh, and we've got a seed spot, which would still be the yellow squash. I don't think it's worth putting those in now. Alright, let's go to town. We're gonna head to town, we're gonna give our axe to Clint, and then we're gonna head into the mines. Alright, 10,000 gold. By the time let's see. By the time that's done, we should have enough gold to do the pickaxe. Alright, we're doing iron today. You know, there's nothing even here. So we're going to head straight back up to the top and try again. Not great luck so far. There's a quartz. Alright. Here we go. We've got the whole day to do this, and we're going to be spending a lot of days doing this, because we want to fill the entire map with sprinklers. Now, as soon as we can go to the skull caverns effectively, that's the key, is effectively. I don't want to be doing casual skull cavern runs. You don't end up with much. It's such a drain on your resources. If we're going to do the skull cavern, we're going to do it right. We're going to go in there with 100 bombs or more, depending on what we can afford. A few staircases. And we're going to leave with hundreds of iridium ore, hundreds of iron and gold ore from one run. Alright, we're pretty lucky so far here. We've got 3 quartz already. I think we need about 10 sprinklers to finish what we already have. What we already have planted. I tell you what, I'll go ahead and do this. We do want to level up our combat as well, but that's not our current mission here. There's not even anything over there for me. There's a quartz. Alright, and we are going to go get that topaz, even though it doesn't matter. It's good mining experience, and we can sell the topaz. We're just going to absorb that hit from the slime and keep moving. That's a lot of dust sprites. I believe the dust sprite reward is a burglar's ring. I don't think I care to wear one. But it's not a bad option. Back to the top. I would really like a lucky ring. That would be great. But they are very rare. Not seeing any ore, which is tied to your luck. Alright, we've got a couple more quartz. That's not bad. It's not bad. And we've got a purple rock. See that purple rock? If you didn't know, these purple rocks are basically like gem nodes. So it's going to have something. There's an emerald. The purple rocks are quite rare, actually. I don't see many of them. So when you do see one, you should probably go ahead and get it. It's the same as any other rock. It only takes one strike. and there's a reward. Do we see anything of value here? No, we do not. So we are out. As soon as we stop getting slimed, we are out. From the top, we're at 59 iron ore and 6 quartz. Definitely has not been a wildly successful farming day, but it hasn't been a complete failure either. There's another quartz. Alright, we're gonna see what's over here. Nothing. There's a quartz. Alright. Also, on the Skull Cavern treasure floors, you have a chance of getting an iridium sprinkler. What am I doing? So it's a good strategy for Skull Cavern runs to only do them on iridium luck days. Because it increases so many aspects of what you're looking to do there. But here in the mine, we're just farming materials. Notice we haven't even gotten to the bottom of the mine yet, because all I care about right now is sprinklers. We're going to upgrade our pickaxe to gold, and then we'll go and progress to the bottom of the mine. It'll be a lot easier. And the timing will all work out. We'll get the bus repaired. We'll upgrade the pickaxe to gold. We'll try to farm the last of the dwarf scrolls. And then we'll start doing Skull Cavern runs in earnest. We want to be able to talk to the dwarf because I want to purchase my bombs. I don't want to use this ore to make bombs because that takes coal. I don't want to be using my coal for bomb making. I want to be using my coal for bar making. Alright, let's turn this around on those bats. Get out of here, bats. We want to use our coal for making gold bars, iron bars, and also we want to use our coal for making seed makers, because as the farm grows, making our own seed is going to save us a lot of money and therefore make us a lot of money. Am I seeing anything here? There's absolutely nothing on this floor. Because the minecarts have been repaired, we can stay here much later without risking anything. It takes maybe a half an hour to get home from here with the minecarts, and that's maybe being generous. We're not going to push it too late though. We might leave now. I would like to swap out the furnaces before we go to bed. There's some legend row. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and sell all of these gemstones that aren't quartz because we just don't need them except for the jade. The jade is going for staircases. Alright, let's just put the quartz in now. I'm not sure exactly how many hours that takes, but I don't think we can wait. Well, that's pretty. In the bin it goes. Alright. And I don't think there's anything else that we need to do here tonight. So we can head to bed. Yep. We do have a peach tree growing here. Obviously it's going to be a month. But we do have a peach tree growing there that we got from the prize tickets. So, in a month, we can start gifting people peaches. I have been completely unconcerned with relationships up to this point. So once we have peaches, we can just give everyone a peach. It's universally liked. I'm not sure anyone loves them. Maybe someone does. To my recollection, I cannot recall. Alright, we want to make the gold ore. Alright. We can make 7. We're going to do that. That might be most of what we need to not have to water tomorrow. Okay. We've got quite a haul today. We've got forageables. So we might level up foraging today, because this is going to be a good many. Like I said, a good many forageables here. And we're easily going to be able to reproduce that many seeds. Oh, I got a corn. Out of all of those mixed seeds, I got 1 corn. Alright. Oh no, there's 1 more corn. Alright, so I did harvest a lot of stuff, but it's actually not going to be sold. Most of it's not going to be sold. We're going to go here and grab our summer seeds. We're going to fill in the gaps that we have, and then we're going to make more summer seeds to continue filling in gaps. Okay. Eventually, we want this entire map to be covered in fertilized soil. Next year, we want to start utilizing speed grow for our main crops. Summer seeds. How many do you think we need? We'll do 30 more for now and see where that gets us. I think we're going to need more than that. Yeah. We're going to need another 30 or 40. Oops. Let's see where that gets us. Oh, so close. Alright, I don't want to... I missed one back here. I don't want to enlarge the field right now. Did we get every gap? It looks like we did. I don't want to enlarge the field right now. Let's put these down. One left. Okay, we just need 3 more. And then we won't have to water for a couple days until we enlarge the field again. We probably won't be enlarging the field until fall starts. But we're going to use most of the melon profits, I think, for the Joja bundles. Once the Joja bundles are done, then we'll buy pumpkin seeds. And we'll see how far we can go with that. The field may actually shrink, but we'll see. Once the Joja bundles are complete, we'll see how much money that leaves us with. We've got the Legend row, which is consistently providing profit. And we've got the greenhouse, which will give us some fruit before fall. So we may have more money than I think for pumpkins. Alright, and we're selling the rest. Probably could have just planted some of those sunflower seeds instead of the wild seeds. I'll save those, actually. I'm not sure I should. Nah, I won't. I won't save them. I think by next year, we're probably going to have so much money that we're going to just want to grow our main crops only. Cauliflower, melon, pumpkin, and powder melon in the wintertime. The powder melons are not worth much, but they're the only thing you can grow, other than the winter forageables, which we will also be growing. Alright, we need more copper. Not copper, gold. I don't know why I said copper. Alright, we can make, oh, 3 more sprinklers is exactly what we need. That is some insane luck. All right. We will have the rest of this season to not water. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful feeling. Probably what we'll do is, when these things come ripe, we'll just fill it all up with wheat. Yeah. We'll just fill it all up with wheat. We've put fertilizer down on a good portion of this field. So I'd like to keep that fertilizer because that's giving us more profit the longer it stays down. All right, back to the mines. We're going for gold this time. We're going for gold and quartz, of course. We still want to be building more sprinklers. And even after we start getting iridium, we need the gold for the iridium sprinklers as well. There's a quartz. Oh, there's a crab there. Okay. We must have had a good luck day, because that's a lot of staircases. Keep it moving. We're not here for combat. I want to look at the rest of the level at least. There's often quartz on this level, yeah. It's going to take us a while to get into making iridium sprinklers. The battery packs are a real bottleneck for that. So we might as well just play as if, what is this lemon slime that is absolutely kicking my butt? The battery packs become a bottleneck. I have a couple. I have 4 currently battery packs because I have 4 lightning rods. I need to make more lightning rods. And the lightning rods also take refined quartz. I should probably make a couple recyclers, because I've been saving up the glasses and the CDs from fishing, and they have a chance of giving you refined quartz. So I should probably make just 2 or 3 recycling machines just to get rid of that trash and possibly come up with some more quartz. Whoops, no, we're not doing iron today. We're doing gold. Back to the top. Start from scratch. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. Nice. Is that level 10? No, that's level 9. But I don't think, well, we do have a lot of gold. We're gonna lose 1,500 gold if we stay here and pass out. I'm actually considering it. Passing out in the mines when you've just leveled up, passing out anywhere after you've just leveled up, it removes the exhaustion and you wake up with full energy in the morning. You still get charged for someone carrying you to your bed, though. And at this point, I might be okay with being charged. It's 10%. I think it's 10% up to 2,000 gold or up to 1,000 gold. I think it might be up to 2,000 gold. I think at this point it might be worth the 1,500 gold that we're gonna lose to have the chance at more quartz and more gold. I can't get quartz any other way. This is the way to get quartz. There might be some levels that are more efficient at it than others, but because I also need gold, this is where we are. We are bringing in some quartz. We have 5 quartz from this run so far. Alright, this is getting dangerous. And I don't like bats. I love bats in real life. I do not like bats in this game. I really want to have a look at the rest of the level before I just go. Yeah, there's nothing. Ooh, look at all that gold. Alright, let's eat. There's a bunch of gold and there's a quartz. So this was a very good level. Might as well pick that up. They're worth a bit of money. Alright, let's just run down the stairs. Is there anything here? There's some gold. Oh, there we go. A skill book. That's big. That's a big deal. Especially in foraging. Alright. But we did just plant a bunch of those wild seeds. So we should probably level up foraging the next time we harvest those. Absolutely nothing on this floor. But we did a good little run there. And I think we're going to go ahead and head home. Reload our furnaces. Empty our bags. Get stuff organized and ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow, the first day in a while that I won't have to water anything. We got 8 coal, which is enough. That's exactly how many furnaces we have. Okay. So I think we'll actually make some more lightning rods with this quartz that we got today. 4 lightning rods is not nearly enough. I find that any more than a dozen and it starts to taper off how useful they are. We can sell that ruby. After about a dozen, I think it's maybe diminishing returns. They don't seem to all get full after that during a lightning storm. I don't know the exact mechanics of... I'm going to keep that slime. We probably need some slime for something down the road. I don't know the exact mechanics of the lightning rods. But I find that you need about a dozen to protect your farm, and after a dozen, they stop all being full every lightning storm. Our axe should be ready tomorrow. Level 9 mining, and we've got the crystallarium recipe. I tell you what, I want to make some crystallariums just so that we can keep making refined quartz. The quartz is really the bottleneck here on these quality sprinklers. Level 6 combat, that's cool. The quartz is really the bottleneck here. Alright, and we have enough gold now to put our pickaxe in for upgrade. So let's see what we need for crystallariums. I'll just need to make 3 or 4. Oh, we need iridium bars. Well, after we upgrade our pickaxe, we can go hit that meteorite and see how much we get. We would need 20 iridium ore to make 2 crystallariums. 2 would be enough. We're not doing crystallariums for profit, only for materials. So we'd put quartz in there, and you'll get at least 2 quartz per day out of a crystallarium. If you take them out when you go to bed, it's refreshed in the morning. Probably you could check it in the middle of the day and get 3. But who's on the farm in the middle of the day? Usually not me. So 1 would be nice, 2 would be pretty much all I would need. And once we're past the need for refined quartz, we can put jade in them and make sure we have staircases. Alright, no watering today. Need a fresh melon from your farm. You'll get one. You'll get one after our next harvest. I'll just have to remember to bring you one, that's all. I'll just have to remember to bring you one. Alright, let's bring the wood and keep the charcoal furnaces going, because that's another bottleneck. Alright, and now we'll make more lightning rods. We'll put them back behind the greenhouse. I don't really have anything better to do with that space. Was refined quartz, stone, and bat wings, iron bars, and bat wings. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and make the 6. That's a nice number. Then we'll have 10. So do we want to do them right up against the building, or do we want to do them around there like that? We'll do it like that. Alright. So there, we've got some up there, we've got some up there. They're pretty out of the way. I should probably make a couple more charcoal kilns, but I think it's fine the way it is. Those kilns there seem to keep us pretty much even. Alright, we shouldn't need to water anything today, but let's have a look out for harvesting. Yep, a radish. Nothing here. There's a couple peppers and a corn. And that's it. Alright. Look at that, it's 8 o'clock. We're done. There's another summer squash. Alright, not much gold, but it's something. It's better than nothing. Alright, let's throw these in another time, and then we go swap out the axe for the pickaxe. Yeah, it's going to be 10,000 gold for the pickaxe, and then we have money left over. Okay, and we do have the minecarts repaired. Oh, we have a gap. I think we only have the one gap. I'm pretty sure we only left the one gap. The others were peppers and corn. Stuff that regrows. Summer squash, yeah. It was just the one radish. Actually, if we're going to Clint's anyway, we should bring any geodes that we have. Have not been getting a lot of geodes. Oh, and that dwarf scroll. See, not many geodes at all. I find that a little interesting. But I guess I haven't been breaking a lot of normal rocks. Mostly just ore nodes. I think normal rocks actually have a higher chance of giving you geodes than ore nodes do. And while we have these couple days without the pickaxe, we can focus on clearing the rest of the farm of trees. Dwarf scroll. Alright, what did we get? Probably a decoration, right? Yeah, large futon pear. We have a drum block there. I'm just leaving all that stuff there. Not really decorating at the moment. Just the bare minimum. We're working. Oh, and I already had that. So we can sell it. We're never going to need that again. So that's just money now. Okay, let's go ahead and refill these charcoal kilns. And then I guess we get started chopping. Let's go. Oh, some of these trees have grown back. How about that? When we get our pickaxe back, we can chop this open and see what we got. It's like a goodie bag. Fingers crossed, 20 iridium ore, right? That would be beautiful. Because then we could make 2 crystallariums to reproduce quartz for us. Alright, we got a foraging level. That's foraging level 7. I believe that will get us our fall seeds recipe. Could be wrong about that. But let's hope it does, because we've got fall coming up soon. Alright, we're just gonna keep clearing. Go swipe this grass up here. I don't need grass on this farm. So it really just gets in the way. I don't need anything slowing me down here. Alright, we should get some mixed seeds out of this bottom corner. Look at all those weeds. That'll come in handy in fall to keep expanding the fields. But because we went Joja, we don't need anything in particular. We just need money. We don't need any specific crops. We don't need anything to complete bundles. We just need money. So we're really just focused on the highest profit crops. We don't need one of this, two of that. We just need gold. This gold axe is just tearing through these trees. This is very helpful. Okay, we still haven't, at some point we'll go get that alleyway buffet book, and also we'll open up the secret woods. We still haven't done that. We haven't really had a need to. We don't have much of a need for hardwood in this game. This is actually a game where I might make use of the wood chipper from Robin. I've never actually used it before, but this might be the game to use it. So that we can turn hardwood into charcoal to keep those furnaces running. I'm leaving all these smaller trees because I don't actually need the ground right now. I don't need the empty land for anything. So I'm letting them continue to grow up. There's no real reason for me to chop those down. They don't give you very much wood. And they're not really in my way yet. They'll provide me with more wood later. The next time I want to do a clearing run, I'll have more trees on the farm. It's nice to have them on the farm so that I don't have to run all around Cindersap Forest chopping every tree I find. This is much more efficient. Alright. Kind of boxed in by stones here. We'll have to refill our inventory with energy foods for tomorrow. Our pickaxe is in the shop, so we will not be going to the mines for a couple days. It's a welcome reprieve. I've spent way too much time in the mines to farm all of the materials for all of these sprinklers. So I'm definitely not going to miss it for a couple days. It will not be missed. I think it might give us a chance to go ahead and cut Cindersap Forest, actually. Or maybe we should go into the secret woods. There's not much point in it for this file. I don't really need the hardwood that's in there. And other than the hardwood, what's the real reason to go in to the secret woods? I don't really need to fish up a wood skip either, because I'm not doing the community center bundles. So there's not much incentive for me to go into the secret woods for any reason. Almost out of energy, and I'm just gonna leave it alone at that. Can we get another tree? The gold axe is very efficient. I think we can get one more. 26. Alright. 18. Is that all? We can do another tree. We can even do one more. Look at that. Alright. We almost did a full clear of the farm there. That's great stuff. That's great stuff. Let's have a peek at our strawberries. Another few days. Alright. Look at all that wood. That's going to make us a lot of charcoal. Alright, and we got 2 aged legend row. That's 10,000 gold right there. That's 10,000 gold. That's nothing to sneeze at. Alright, let's put some iron in there. Alright, we have 10 lightning rods now, so we don't really need to worry about that. I'm good with 10. I'm good with 10 for quite a while. Alright, let's look. We need some energy foods. We might need to go fishing again soon, or see, this summer squash is acceptable. We just don't sell all of our produce. We just keep some back. That might be what we want to do, is keep a stack of something just for energy purposes. Okay, the charcoal is going to keep us sustained on coal for a while. We just cut down a lot of wood. So we should probably do that again, because we don't have a pickaxe for the mine right now. We do have a couple bombs that we could blow our way over to the dwarf, but we can't talk to him yet, so there's not much point. If you can't talk to the dwarf, there's nothing really over there for you. You can't give him gifts. Alright, there's the winter wild seeds. That means we already got the fall wild seeds. So we're good to go on the wild seeds recipes. Rainy day, Sunday, that's the Queen of Sauce day. I'm not entirely sure which recipes I'm even going to need. I'm not going to do a ton of cooking. I don't think you can buy milk from anyone, so I'm not going to be able to do my normal pumpkin soup. I'm a big fan of pumpkin soup, +2 defense, +2 luck. Pretty long length buff. So we'll see what we end up doing. We might have to just rely on getting magic rock candy from the desert trader. It's a lot of resources to get that, though. It's 3 prismatic shards, and you can only get 1 per week. So we'll have to think about what buff foods we're going to use when it comes time to go to the dungeon. That's an interesting quandary I hadn't thought about yet. I'm so used to making pumpkin soup for myself. I hadn't really thought about what buff foods we were going to use on this file later in the game. Alright, well that was a simple day on the farm, and we don't have that much else to do, so we might go buy a Joja bundle. We can sell these. I'm just gonna sell that too. We've got our stack of summer squash here. That's going to keep us well fed. And we're going to pick up more summer squash before the season's over, as well as 300 plus melons. So let's go. Let's go buy, I think, the bridge repair. We're 100% going to get the bus repair when we harvest those melons. There's no way. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 120,000 plus. It's locked, open 9 a.m. It's only 9 a.m. Okay. I did not bring my fishing rod, or we would do some fishing to pass the time. Okay. That's at least one more artifact. Keep in mind, I do have to get 60 donations to be able to get the sewer key. Okay, the panning is actually a really good use of 20,000 gold, because that gives us a chance of iridium ore, and we want that iridium ore. All right. We want that iridium ore. Not only for iridium sprinklers, obviously we want iridium sprinklers, but also just for a couple crystallariums so that we can slam some quartz in there to keep making the quality sprinklers, as well as putting jade in so that we can always have enough for staircases, possibly a couple for diamonds so that we can trade for triple shot espressos, and a couple rubies so that we can trade for spicy eel, because I think in the end the spicy eel may end up being the buff food, the cheap buff food that we use in Skull Caverns. I prefer pumpkin soup. It's 2 luck and 2 defense. Spicy eel is 1 luck and 1 speed. It's not a terrible compromise. It's just not my favorite. Alright. So now what do we do? Right? I think we go fishing. I think this is the day where we go fishing. We've been neglecting it. We've been neglecting it. We want to get that to level 10. Alright, and we are out of gold and iron ore. So it's a good thing our pickaxe will be done tomorrow. But again, what we're really waiting on is the quartz. See how we have currently 1 iridium bar. Here, we have 6 ore. 1 iridium bar is not enough for anything except 1 iridium sprinkler. We definitely need more than that. You know what we should do? We should make our bait makers. Not the bait maker. I mean, we could make one. There's nothing stopping us. Coral, sea urchin, iron bar. What I meant was worm bins. Hardwood, gold iron fiber. Hardwood, fiber. I know I'm going to need moss to make it into a deluxe bin. Gold iron fiber. Okay. We need 30 moss, so we can't even make 1 deluxe worm bin. But we can make a couple worm bins. I think I want to make 2. That always seems to be more than enough. And then, wow, we haven't had a green rain event yet. So it's gonna be coming soon, right? I'm gonna search on the wiki for the green rain. The 23rd of summer is the last possible day for the green rain, so we know it's going to be 2 days from now. It has to be. It is the only remaining date that's possible. So we'll have those worm bins. We'll make our bait maker. We'll have those worm bins in just a couple days. We'll just throw those there. And a couple days from now, we will make the deluxe worm bins for the deluxe bait, which is a huge upgrade from regular bait. Alright. But we do have a bait maker now. So we'll take that with us. I think we're going up to the mountain lake because it's just very chill, very relaxing, and we'll probably make bait for largemouth bass. They're not that hard to catch. and they're worth a good bit of money. And I think the higher quality ones probably are good energy food. So we'll go ahead and have a look at that. As long as we don't get stuck on another sign on the way. Those minecarts being repaired is a huge upgrade. All right. It would be nice to hit level 10 fishing. What are you? Maybe sturgeon. I think it is a sturgeon. I'm not sure I'm in the mood for this much struggle. Yeah, it was a sturgeon. They do not give much energy. So they're worth a lot of gold, though. So it's at least a good catch. This will be a carp. Not worth much of anything. Not much energy, not much money. We're really just looking for a largemouth bass. Bullheads are pretty good too. They're very easy to catch. And they're kind of middle of the road. There's a bullhead. See, they're kind of middle of the road. That's an iridium bullhead and it's 65 energy. What am I doing here? They sell for a decent amount, I guess. This might be the largemouth bass we're looking for. There we go. How about that? So let's put our bait maker down and put our largemouth bass in. And then we will go ahead and swap that bait out. Oh, I didn't bring a spare spinner with me. That's a shame. Whoops. Okay, the bait doesn't get used if you don't reel in a fish. How about that? That's wonderful. You know, I didn't look at the energy. Okay, the energy is decent. The energy's decent. If we can get a few iridiums, then we'll be good to go. Yeah, that's nice. The iridium largemouth bass, that's nice. So we'll go ahead and pop this gold one in there. We'll do that to be able to see them. We'll go ahead and put these guys down there. We don't really care. They're all getting sold. The largemouth bass, however, that's what we're keeping. We want to end up with a pile of iridium largemouth bass here. And we want to get level 10 fishing. And we'll get some money from the stuff that we're not keeping. Alright, I'll take geodes. They've been few and far between for me so far. I've really been struggling trying to find geodes. We have spent a lot of time in the mines. There's some bubbles up there. I'm gonna go get those bubbles. I'd like better than carp to come out of these bubbles. Wow, that bounce. Did you see that bounce? Nice. Keeps just barely coming off the bottom there. Fishing tackle has worn out. I know. That's my bad. That's my bad. I didn't bring another one. Alright, the bubbles are gone. And we're catching another carp. Alright, so we've got 4 left. Throw another one in there. Perfectly executed. Sometimes I do get it right. We're getting a lot of geodes here. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I definitely should have brought another bobber. We've got, so far, only 2 iridium largemouth bass. And if we keep getting these treasure chests, we're not going to get any more iridium fish. But I'm not going to complain about free materials. Another treasure chest. I'm getting lucky with the treasure chests. But it's distracting me from my purpose that I came here for. Okay, we already found an ancient sword, or otherwise it would say, Gunther could tell you more about this. So we can just sell that. It's probably not worth much. There we go. Alright, we have a few largemouth bass bait left. I think maybe we just exhaust what we have. And then head home. Reload the furnaces and the charcoal kilns. Whoa, that'll be a sturgeon. You win some, you lose some. Alright, this is our last piece. This is our last piece of largemouth bass bait, and we're going to call it a day at that. Not being overly efficient right now. Used your last piece of bait, alright. So we're just going to head home and do a couple chores. I think we exhausted our gold and iron ore, and we get our pickaxe back tomorrow. So we can just throw some copper in the furnaces, and actually we could make a couple more furnaces. Let's do that. Let's make a couple more furnaces. Just 2 more. And we'll make some more charcoal while we're at it. 2 more furnaces. 1 there. And 1 there. We don't have wood on us, so let's grab some wood. Make some more coal. I did bring the coal, right? Yes. Alright. And that exhausts our copper ore. Yeah, we should probably make a couple recyclers. Even just 1. Iron bar, stone, and wood. Let's make 2. I don't know that we're going to need them much after this. But the chance for more refined quartz is a nice thing. Okay, so we're putting stuff away now. We're going to put that away there. We'll put those guys in there. I don't think I care about the rest. I think the rest can go. Let's get that. We have another spinner. Put that on there for the next time we might want to go fishing. Oh, the fishing rod can go in the fishing chest, don't you think? Alright. Everything else goes in the bin. Let's hope it amounts to something. Alright. What is it to make charcoal kilns? Because I'd like to make 2 more charcoal kilns. Wood and copper bar. Sounds good to me. I'm going to be grabbing some copper bars right there. So I can go ahead and make 2 more of those. And put them there. For more coal production. Okay. Alright. Not an incredibly productive day, but not a wasted day either. Let's go chop a few trees. We have some energy left. We have some time left. Let's use it. I've got enough energy for a couple more trees here. And now that we have a couple more charcoal kilns, we can always use more wood. We know that we're going to have the green rain 2 days from now. We know that for a fact. Alright. So we're going to get the moss. That'll at least, we'll have way more than enough. I'm sure we won't even have to leave the farm. We don't need an insane amount of moss. How about that? Look at that luck. Look at that luck. I put 2 CDs in and I got 2 refined quartz. Whoops. Alright, we're happy with the lightning rods we have at the moment, so any refined quartz we get now is all going to sprinklers. We are going to need lots of coal, not just for metal smelting, but also for seed makers. Currently we have 6 seed makers, and that was plenty to get our strawberries in the greenhouse. But that is not going to be enough to repopulate this huge farm with starfruit or melons or cauliflower or pumpkins. I could definitely just buy all of them. Look at that. We're just coming up roses here. Alright, I didn't think it was a guarantee, but that's 4 for 4. Let's do that again. Hey, hey, hey. Do that again. Alright, look at us. Look at us go. Alright, we can do one more swap out for coal, and then we're going to bed. Okay, now that did, in fact, turn into a productive day. How about that? I'm a little torn on the seed maker thing. Should we just buy all of our seeds? There we go. Give me a shot at some iridium. Alright, gold pickaxe is ready. Wow, is it really a guarantee? That's 6 for 6. Alright, we're gonna reload up our charcoal kilns. We're just gonna keep those things rocking. We're gonna use it. We're gonna need all the charcoal we can find. Hey, bud. Alright. We're gonna need all the charcoal we can get. Looks like Melons is probably tomorrow? Maybe 2 days from now. Alright, we've got some forageables ready. How long do forageables take to grow? I'm gonna use the wiki. summer seeds. Summer seeds take 7 days to grow. So there's not enough time. So we go buy a bunch of wheat. Right? It's time. It's time to go buy a bunch of wheat. To start filling in all the gaps. So that we can, I mean, there's no fertilizer down here, but re-hoeing random spots is a pain in the butt. We're gonna keep some of these grapes. I do believe that Junimo Huts falls within the spirit of this challenge. So I think we will eventually be using Junimo Huts. So at that point we will be growing our own grapes as well, because we're going to need to keep them supplied with raisins. We'll probably grow grapes on Ginger Island for that purpose. Because we're going to need so many Junimo Huts. We're going to need dozens of Junimo Huts. We're going to need hundreds of bags of raisins. I'm just now realizing this. So at some point we will want to make some dehydrators. Alright, noted. We'll throw these last pair of glasses in there. Alright, we can make 4 more. We can make 4 more sprinklers. Alright, so let's head to Joja and buy as many wheat seeds as we have money for, I guess. We're going to want about 400 total. To hold this over into fall. Let's check out how long pumpkins take to grow. 13 days. So we can't really afford to have anything hanging over. Pumpkins takes the entire season for 2 crops. I'm not sure we're going to have enough money to buy Speed Grow. Actually, never mind. Speed Grow with Agriculturalist doesn't even get you a 3rd harvest. It needs to be Deluxe Speed Grow. I'm pretty certain we don't have the money for that. Which means we need to be on point with the pumpkins going in on day 1 of fall. So, look, let's just make that, right? So we don't want to put in the wheat to be a carryover, actually. It's probably going to be easier to just re-hoe the ground than it will be to pickaxe up a bunch of wheat. But what we can do is we can use summer wild seeds, even though they're not going to come to fruition. We can use them as our placeholders. Okay, it's grapes, spice berries, and sweet peas. They'll die on the changeover. and we can just scythe them down to replant. I like that plan. I like that plan. That keeps it simple. Okay, I think that's all the gaps. Let's just go back over here. Maybe there was, yeah, there was one there. Alright. So we have a plan at least. And we've got a nice stack of summer squash for energy. We do need to go get our pickaxe, which means we can go straight to the mines after that. Alright, let's reload these charcoal kilns before we go do that. Alright, we'll go get our pickaxe. We're not worried about the wheat, so we can save our money. And actually, we should spend the money. We should put the watering can in. We don't need it right now. This may be one of the only chances we get until winter to upgrade this. Right? It's currently copper. Or maybe we should do the hoe. I think we end up doing both. We'll do the watering can first, and then we'll do the hoe after that. Alright, gold pickaxe. We'll do the watering can first. Okay, and then I guess we spend the rest of the day in the mines. Now that we have our pickaxe back, and we're out of both iron and gold ore. So let's just do that. There's a purple rock. It was jade. Oh, we're one-shotting iron nodes now. Nice, we got ourselves a quartz. And another quartz. Alright. I guess maybe halfway through here we switch to farming gold. We definitely want to be just farming materials right now. We're still not in a position to progress to the bottom of the mine. We're definitely close. Now that we have our gold pickaxe, we can make a run at it. But right now, we really just need the materials. Because I do not want to go back to hand watering. I would rather get out ahead of this sprinkler situation. Like way out ahead of it. I would rather get out ahead of it than go back to hand watering when the fields get larger than my current sprinkler setup. Oh, that's a nice iron vein. Alright, every time if we go down the stairs and we see ore, we keep going. So sometimes you just get lucky and you keep going. Maybe today was a good luck day. Good luck days affect the number of ores that spawn, the likelihood that ores will spawn. I'm just gonna, yep, I was gonna say just gonna pickaxe my way back to the stairs, and if we get staircase, we'll take it. A ladder, sorry, not a staircase. But we finally got an empty floor, so back to the surface we go. Start from the top. What do we have? We have 72 iron ore right now, so we're about ready. I think what I'll do is I'll go to 100. It's already mid-afternoon. Maybe we just switch now. I'm gonna kill these guys just for the combat experience. They're very easy to kill. When they're bunched up like that, I feel like it's worth it. Alright. There's some more iron on this floor. We might as well go get it. We know where the stairs are. Alright, here we go. Again, I don't really need these gemstones for anything. But when you break the node, it is good experience. Nice, we've got a couple quartz. It is good experience, and, you know, it's a couple hundred gold. Anything else on this floor? One more. And then we'll just pickaxe our way back to the stairs. If we don't get a ladder, then we reset. Alright, I think we can, yeah, we have over 100 now. We can switch to gold. Alright, and now we are one-shotting those rocks at this level. So, as soon as we don't... Okay, that's a nothing burger. As soon as we don't need the materials for a day or two, we can go ahead and go to the bottom. Because we are getting close to making some casual Skull Cavern runs, which are my least favorite. I'm not really okay. We're about as deep as we've ever been, and there's a special slime over there. So I'm gonna go get him and see what he drops. Burglar's Shank. Probably not. Definitely not. Okay. It was worth it just to see what he dropped. We didn't like it, but it was worth the effort. Alright, we're not going to stay here that long, even though we barely got any gold at all. I don't want to be out too late here. That's not to say I'm almost done with this run. I've still got, you know, it's 7:40 p.m. p.m. there. I've still got time. But I don't want to be out terribly late. I'd like to have everything organized because I'm going to go ahead and sign off for this stream at the end of the night. I don't want to come back to a game where I have no idea what's going on. That guy can chase me all he wants. I'm just gonna grab my gold and get out of here. Alright, I'm gonna have to fight him this time. 'Cause I want that quartz. From the top again. Alright, here we go. Maybe I shouldn't have let him out of there. A couple more goes. We only have 36 gold currently. We're not going to get a ton more today. There's 2 quartz on this level. Alright, that's it. Oh, come on. What is going on? It would not let me walk past that slime. We're gonna grab this quartz and hit that ladder and see what we see. There's more quartz over there. Alright. So we'll have to come back and target farm gold. There's the quartz. I'm getting that before I leave. Let's see if there's anything else in this. There's some gold over there. Alright, we'll just smack rocks on the way back to the stairs and then head home. Because we still have a little bit of energy. Not a lot, but enough to just hit some rocks, get some stone, hope for geodes. Didn't get any. It is getting late. You are correct. Alright, there's a legend row to put in the bin. Emerald, aquamarine, topaz, amethyst. Don't need any of those. I am going to keep this fire quartz though. We are eventually going to want some dehydrators to make raisins for our Junimos. Alright, I think that's everything that I want to throw in the bin. Oh, we don't have any cave carrots on us. Okay. We're going to put that purple mushroom there. No, you know what? We're going to sell the purple mushroom. Alright, that was a pretty good session there. That was a pretty good dungeon dive. Okay. We got a few geodes. That was from fishing the other day, actually. we have time to swap out our charcoal. And we also have time to fill up our furnaces. All right. And tomorrow might be melon harvest day. Keep in mind, I do have agriculturalist. Alright, mystery boxes are now available. That's great news, because we have not been getting a ton of geodes. And as predicted, the next day is going to be the green rain day. So on my next stream, I will be harvesting all of the green rain weeds on the farm. So thank you for joining me, and have a great day.